All right, this lesson is about the biggest problem that I deal with, which is lust, fornications. Second Timothy 2:22 says, "Flee also youthful lusts, but follow righteousness, faith, charity, peace with them that call on the Lord out of a pure heart." Flee also from youthful lusts, but follow after righteousness, faith, charity, peace with them that call on the Lord out of a pure heart. Following after our lusts uh, is a big thing that we do. I could just speak for myself. I know me personally. That's something that I have to stay focused on. James 4:7 says, "Submit yourselves therefore to God, resist the devil, and he will flee you." So resisting the devil is kind of resisting those things, resisting that evil, the wickedness, and it will flee from you. But you got to resist it. You have to constantly resist. In today's society, you got to constantly resist this stuff because it's everywhere you look. Everywhere you look is intended on getting you to fulfill the desires of your flesh, the desires of your heart. That's all this world is about, is fulfilling the desires of your heart at this point. Teaching us, for the grace of God that bringeth salvation hath appeared unto all men, teaching us that denying ungodliness and worldly lusts, we should live soberly, righteously, and godly in this present world. You have to constantly deny your worldly lusts, your worldly desires, right? Desire, desire, craving, longing, desire for what is forbidden, lust. And that's one of the points I have, that lust isn't just sexual. Lust isn't just you crave wanting some, female or a dude. Lust is the desire, and it's a craving, and it's a longing. The thing you see here is the desire for what is forbidden, right? It's like, what do you desire so bad? Or what are you craving or long? It's like a craving. That's just how it is, man. That's exactly how it feels. It's like a craving, a longing. It's like, what do you crave so bad, or what are you longing for so bad that you're willing to break the law of the Lord in order to get it? You know what I'm saying? You might have a longing, a craving for more money, more money, more money, more money. Or like me, you might have a longing, craving, desire for a beautiful woman. You might have a longing, craving, desire for possessions, gold, silver, chains, watches, shit like that. It could be anything, but it's a desire, a craving, a longing, and specifically a desire for what is forbidden, right? Lust. We have to turn away from these worldly lusts, and they're everywhere. They're everywhere. Everywhere you look, It's all about attraction. It's all about being attracted. Denying ungodliness and worldly lusts. The worldly lusts are things that's enticing you to come in. What did it say? To fulfill your craving. Worldly lust is gonna get you to, hey, you can fulfill that desire. It's like a literal in persuasion. I know for me personally, the act of me being a, attracted to certain things, it's like literal persuasion. It's like you look at a woman and immediately the spirit starts persuading you, it starts enticing you and deceiving you against the law of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And it's instantly. The lust of the worldly lust is everywhere, man. It's everywhere. You got to guard from it at all angles. Like I said, it's not just something that's sexual. Whatever your desire or your longing might be, that's what you lust for. That's what you got to keep in check. Galatians 5:16. This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. Walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary to the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. But if ye be led of the spirit, ye are not under the law. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness. Those are works of the flesh: idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, seditions, heresies, strife, wrath, envyings, murders, drunkenness. All these are works of the flesh. And they that are Christ's have crucified the flesh with the affections and the lusts. With the affections and the lusts. So you have to crucify that flesh. You have to crucify that flesh because, like I said, it's literally at every turn they're trying to get you. They're trying to use this attraction and these affections. They use these affections and these attractions to get you deceived and persuade you to go against the law of the Lord. What is this? It's never passion, affections. If that's not the word I thought it was gonna be, but it's still pretty straightforward. You have to crucify your flesh with the affections and the lusts. The affections and the lusts thereof, we have to crucify our flesh. We go to 1 Corinthians 6:18. Flee fornication. Every sin that man doeth is without the body, but he that committeth fornication sinneth against his own body. What? Know ye not that your body is the temple of the Holy Ghost which is in you, which ye have of our God, and ye are not your own? For ye are bought with a price. Therefore glorify God in your body. Excuse me. Therefore, glorify God in your body and in your spirit, which are God's. Glorify God in your body and in your spirit, which are God's. Flee from fornication. Flee from youthful lusts. Flee from the worldly lusts. First Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 3. For this is the will of God, even your sanctification, that ye should abstain from fornication, that every one of you should know how to possess his vessel in sanctification and in honor, not in the lust of concupiscence, even as the Gentiles, which know not our power, that no man go beyond and defraud his brother in any manner, because that the Lord is the avenger of all, as we have forewarned you and testified. Every one of you should know how to possess his vessel in sanctification and honor, and abstain from fornication. Abstaining from fornication, in my case, it's like literally turning away and not looking. I'm a, you have to like literally turn the other way, especially in today's day and age, because of how fast things work and how fast they move. Romans 1:28 says, and even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge, God gave them over to a reprobate mind to do things which are not convenient, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whispers, backbiters, haters of God, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents, without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful, with who, knowing the judgment of God, that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them. Oh man. Not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them also. I don't want to be given over to things that aren't convenient. Well, my whole life I've been given over to things which aren't convenient since the age of getting hooked on pornography at the age of 12 led me down a complete road, a 14-year road of inconvenience. Of uh, things like that happen. That's that's how it is when we're living under the curses and stuff like that. But after I've repented and put off that old man, things are different. After you repent and put off that old man, things should be different. Yeah, you're not a slave to that flesh no more. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, and especially growing up in the States and things like that, or just growing up in the day and age we live in, you're going to be constantly bombarded with things that are going to fulfill your desires and fulfill your fleshly lusts and keep you from doing the what the Most High would have you to do. And when I look back, my life has been so occupied since, I'm telling you, since the time I was about 12 years old. It's been so occupied with me trying to have sex, bro. Whether it be through pornography or whether it be through trying to, get with some girls or whatever. And that stuff has been keeping me for 14 years, keeping me away from doing the work of the Most High. But now that, it's like, wherefore can a young man cleanse his ways, but through, the knowledge of this word. All right, Mark 4:19. The cares of this world, the deceitfulness of riches, and the lusts of other things entering in choke the word, and it becometh unfruitful. So I don't want, the word to be choked within me and not be fruitful. Because we know that Yahushua is going to cut off the branches that aren't fruitful. He's going to cut off the branches that aren't fruitful and purge the ones that are, so they bring forth more fruit. But the lusts and other things entering in it choke the word, along with deceitfulness of riches and cares of this world. So your desires of things, man, it's going to choke the word. And that's very, very true. That's very true. Because I've noticed that if I start looking at a female too long, I'm not thinking about the scripts no more. I'm not thinking about the laws or anything like that no more. You know what I mean? Matthew 5:28. But I say unto you that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her hath committed adultery with her already in his heart. So it's like you see a woman and you want that, you have that desire towards her. You have that longing, that craving for her. Why are you craving after this woman so hard? This is one of my problems right here. Whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her hath committed adultery. Why are you looking at these? Why are you craving after these women? Why are you desiring these women so hard when you look at them? Because if that's not it, then you're just being persuaded. Because now if it's not like you have this desire for them, this craving, it's like when you get, it's like, why? What? When ask yourself why? Is it because is it because that's just how you are? You just like to look at women, but this is to lust after her. So it's like that Lil Wayne song, I wish I could fuck every girl in the world, right? And that's what watching pornography does to you. It gets you looking at every woman like, oh shit, I want her, I want her, I want her, I can have her. Maybe even subconsciously. But you get to thinking like, oh yeah, I could, yeah, I'll do X, Y, and Z to her. Or, oh yeah, she look good. Like, man, you've already committed adultery with her. This is to look upon a woman. You haven't even opened your mouth to say nothing to her, and you've already committed adultery with her in your heart. So it's like you got to guard your eyes. You have to literally guard and turn away from from having your lust being catered to. Stop letting your lust get catered to. Matthew 15:18. But those things which proceed out of the mouth come forth from the heart, and they defile the man. For out of the heart proceed evil thoughts, murderers, adulteries, fornications, thefts, false witnesses, blasphemies. These are the things which defile a man. But to eat with unwashed hands defileth not a man. Evil thoughts, murders, fornications, adulteries. We just saw that if you're looking at a woman with lust in your heart, you just committed adultery. And if you're looking at a woman with lusting after her, then evil thoughts, that's an evil thought also. And this stuff will defile us. This is the stuff that's defiling us. You look at a woman and you get to looking too hard. You get some evil thoughts popping up. You know what I'm saying? You get some evil thoughts popping up. So for me, I gotta guard myself from looking at these women. I gotta make myself not to look at these women, right? I gotta put like some eye patches on my shit or something. Because look, I'm gonna show you this is exactly what happened to when David lusted after Bathsheba. What happened? He saw her in there taking a bath. And it came to pass in an eventide that David arose from off his bed and walked upon the roof of the king's house. And from the roof he saw a woman washing herself, and the woman was very beautiful to look upon. And David sent and inquired after the woman, and one said, Is not this Bathsheba, the daughter of Eliam, the wife of Uriah the Hittite? And David sent messengers, took her, and she came in unto him, and he lay with her, for she was purified from her uncleanness, and she returned to her house. So David's walking around on his roof and in the evening, and from his roof he can see a woman washing herself. From his roof, he getting the show. Oh, and she was very beautiful to look upon. So from his roof, imagine you look out your window and you see a beautiful woman outside your window taking a bath. Man, that's how fast it happens. He saw her washing herself and she was very beautiful. And from there on, the whole time he looking at her is telling him, Hey, you're the king, man. You know you can get that. You know you King David, right? If you want that, you can get that. And you do want that, right? Immediately. And the longer you look, the stronger that persuasion is gonna get. The longer you look, the stronger that persuasion is gonna get. So it's like you gotta turn away. You literally gotta turn away. You gotta turn away. All right. So you just saw how King David saw Bathsheba taking a bath while he was on his roof, and he, got that desire for her. Shoot, I'm gonna show you another one actually. I'll show you another story. This is the book of Susanna. Now, when the people departed away at noon, Susanna went into her husband's garden to walk. And the two elders saw her going in every day and walking, so that their lust was inflamed toward her. And they perverted their own mind, and turned away their eyes, that they might not look unto heaven, nor remember just judgments. And albeit they both were wounded with her love, yet durst not one show another his grief. For they were ashamed to declare their lust, that they desired to have to do with her. But they watched diligently from day to day to see her. Telling you, Larry. And I'm almost positive she didn't go out into this garden walking around naked neither. Every day while her husband's gone. But these two elders, every day they see her going in. Every day they waiting for her, watching her. You know what I'm saying? Every day they talk about, man, boy, there goes Susanna again. Boy, look what she got on today. Look what she got on today. How come Mrs. Johnson can't look like that? How come my old lady can't walk? Why my old lady don't walk like that? Bro, they watching this woman every day, and the lust is building up, burning up inside of them. Look, what does it say? And they perverted their own mind, turning away their eyes, that they might not look unto heaven. When that beautiful woman, when your gaze fall upon that beautiful woman, literally just because of the fact that that's a beautiful woman, is gonna draw your attention away from what you're supposed to be. You see what I'm saying? That's without her doing anything on her end to entice, to attract, to persuade. You see what I'm saying? This is literally just her being a beautiful woman. Now imagine a beautiful woman with a wicked heart that's gonna do whatever, that's gonna do stuff to entice you to look at her, to make you look at her, to make you turn away your eyes from looking unto heaven. Because they will do that. That's definitely doable. The fact that something is attractive to you, and it could be anything, but when when females are attractive, you got to think. You look at them. You look at an attractive female. You're like, okay, that's a pretty female. But then you start seeing other things. Okay, well her shirt's real tight. Her shirt and her jeans are real tight. So now you see some other stuff. Okay, that shit, that's looking good, right? That's looking good. She got the tight jeans or the short shorts or whatever the fuck she got on. And now that's telling you, hey, look at me a little bit longer. Just keep looking. Because you see something you like. And then on top of that, I'm gonna be on top of that, on top of that, I'm gonna entice you physically. I'm gonna do things to y'all see what I'm saying, man. Your desire for a woman and things like that is already there before you see a beautiful woman. Because that's one of the things you desire. When you see her, it's like, oh shit, do I have a chance to get that? Do I have a chance to get that? shoot, I guess I do have a chance to get that. My wife not here. I don't see if she got a husband or a man around. I don't see none of that, but my wife not here. Shoot, she looking at me like she want me shit. You are literally being persuaded instantly. Just by looking, you are being persuaded to sin. And the longer you look, the stronger that persuasion gets. The longer you keep looking, the stronger that persuasion gets. I'm gonna go back to First Ezra 4. The longer you look, the harder that persuasion gets. All right, First Ezra 4, just a couple verses. By this also ye must know that women have dominion over you. Do ye not labor and toil, and give and bring all to the woman? Do you not labor and toil, and give and bring all to the woman? Yea, a man taketh his sword, and goeth his way to rob and to steal, to sail upon the sea and upon rivers. He looketh upon a lion, and goeth in darkness, and when he hath stolen, spoiled, and robbed, he bringeth it to his love. Wherefore a man loveth his wife better than father or mother. Yea, there be that have run out of their wits for women, and become servants for their sakes. Many also have perished, have erred, and sinned for women. Right? Many have perished, have erred, and sinned for women. And this is in pursuit. This could be in pursuit of the woman. Right? Many have perished and erred and sinned for women. We just read David. We just read the story about David. You can read about Solomon. Right? You can also read about, we just read the one in Susanna with the elders lusting after old girl. Women are basically undefeated, is what this is. Women are undefeated. Many also have perished, erred, and sinned for women. Women are undefeated, man. The more you look at them, sit with them, talk with them, the more you gonna get pulled into that enticing nature. Because I'm gonna keep it real. I don't know a dude who can genuinely be friends with a female. That's not a homosexual. Because I'm gonna tell you like this: the way men think, we know. Like I said, we know what we want. We know what that desire is. We know what we're trying to get. When you ask yourself and honestly examine yourself, Why am I talking to these females? Why am I sitting around these females? Why am I having these conversations? Why do I always catch myself looking at these women? Oh, because that's what you want. That's where your desire is. That's where your desire is. Now you got to ask, why do you want so many women? Or maybe not even so many. Do you? I don't know. But just keep asking yourself the why. Only you know the why. But for me, my why is my why. I feel like for me, genuinely, my why is because that's what I wanted for so long. Like I said, since I was 12, that's been, like you said, everything you do, like in Ecclesiastes, anything we do, we're almost always doing it for a woman. So once I started, getting out here and stuff like that, I'm falling right into these categories. When you read that Testament of Reuben, though, it makes it very clear, right? It makes it very clear that, and Reuben was another one. Actually, Reuben was another one. If I go, and when you read that Testament of Reuben, you get some good wisdom, pull some good wisdom out of that. And it came to pass when Israel dwelt in that land that Reuben went and lay with Bilhah, his father's concubine. When Israel heard it, now the sons of Jacob were 12. When you get into that Testament of Reuben, you get a little bit more understanding of what went down right there. Same way David saw Bathsheba bathing, Reuben saw Bilhah, his father's concubine, bathing. And that thing ate him up to the point where he had to do something. Testament of Reuben, chapter 1, verse 34. Pay no heed to the face of a woman, nor associate with another man's wife, nor meddle with affairs of womankind. For had I not seen Bilhah bathing in a covered place, I had not fallen into this great iniquity. For my mind, taking in the thoughts of the woman's nakedness, and you can't say that's not what we do. We see a beautiful woman, we know exactly where our thoughts go, where our mind goes. For my mind taking in the thought of the woman's nakedness, suffered me not to sleep until I had wrought the abominable thing. For while Jacob our father had gone to Isaac his father, when we were in Eder, Bilhah became drunk and was asleep uncovered in her chamber. Having therefore gone in and beheld her nakedness, I wrought the impiety without her perceiving it, and leaving her sleeping departed. So we see David, he watching Bathsheba bathe, right? We also seen in Susanna when the elders watching this girl in the garden. Now we see Reuben. Reuben done got a glimpse of Bilhah bathing. See, if we pay no heed to the face of a woman, we're not gonna get trapped in that, oh, look at me. Chapter 2, verse 1. Pay no heed, therefore, my children, to the beauty of a woman, nor set your mind on their affairs, but walk in singleness of heart in the fear of the Lord, and expend labor on good works, and on study, and on your flocks, till the Lord give you a wife, whom he will, that ye suffer not as I did. Verse 7. For a pit unto the soul is the sin of fornication, separating it from God and bringing it near to idols, because it deceiveth the mind and understanding, and leadeth down young men into Hades before their time. For many hath fornication destroyed, because though a man be old or noble, rich or poor, he bringeth reproach unto himself with the sons of men, and derision with the liar. For ye heard regarding Joseph, how he guarded himself from a woman, and purged his thoughts from all fornication, and found favor in the sight of God and men. Remember Joseph and Potiphar's wife. How many of us can actively keep dodging a woman, an attractive woman? You see what I'm saying? This is all, it's all part of that fear of the Lord, and putting these worldly lusts out of there. It says he guarded himself from a woman and purged his thoughts from all fornication, and found favor in the sight of God and men. For the Egyptian woman did many things unto him, and summoned magicians, and offered him love potions, but the purpose of his soul admitted no evil desire. Therefore our power, the God of your fathers, delivered him from every evil and hidden death. For if fornication overcomes not your mind, neither can Beliar overcome you. For evil are women, my children, since they have no power or strength over man, but they use wiles by outward attractions, that they might draw him to themselves. Listen, for evil are women, my children, and since they have no power or strength over a man, they use wiles by outward attractions, that they may draw him to themselves. And whom they cannot bewitch by outward attractions, him they overcome by craft. They bewitching me with the outward attractions. They don't ever get to the getting overcome by craft part for me. You see what I'm saying? I'm getting got with the outward attractions like an idiot. But that's exactly what happens, man. I want to continue. And whom they cannot bewitch by outward attractions, him they overcome by craft. For moreover, concerning them, the angel of the Lord told me and taught me that women are overcome by the spirit of fornication more than men. And in their heart they plot against men, and by means of their adornment they deceive first their minds, and by the glance of the eye instill the poison. So it's like when you look over and see her, or if she look over and you look like glance, you know what I'm saying? That's she instilled the poison. And that poison is acting. As that poison is activating, it's telling you like, yeah, I'm finna get that. I want that. And then through the accomplished act, they take them captive. For a woman cannot force a man openly, but by a harlot's bearing she beguiles him. For a woman cannot force a man openly, but by a harlot's bearing she beguiles him. We're supposed to be the masters of our vessel. We're supposed to be the masters of our vessel, yet by a harlot's bearing she beguiles us. You know what I'm saying? Our Uncle Reuben is telling us, pay no heed to the beauty of these women, man. Stop worrying about these women affairs. Stop worrying about what they're wearing. Stop looking at how pretty or how beautiful they are. Stop talking about them. In singleness of heart, walk in singleness of heart and the fear of the Lord, and expend your labor on good works and on study and on your flocks. You will get captured, man. You will get captured. You know what I'm saying, the last 14 years of my life, I've been in captivity to the lusts of my flesh, man. And I'm just keeping it 100 with you. Been in constant captivity to the lust of my flesh. Definitely not a master of my own vessel. You know what I mean? Oh wait. Stumble not at the beauty of a woman, and desire her not for pleasure. Stumble not at the beauty of a woman, and desire her not for pleasure. Stumble not at the beauty of a woman, and desire her not for pleasure. Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. Give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad. Right? Stumble not at the beauty of a woman, and desire her not for pleasure. That's the main thing. That's one of the main things in the society we live in today is satisfying your desires, satisfying your the wants of your heart, and pleasure. Pleasure, pleasure, pleasure. That's what these girls be enticing you with. You look at them and think, yeah, I like that. I like what I see. You see what I'm saying? Pleasure, 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 pleasure. Abstain from fleshly lusts. Dear beloved, I beseech you, as strangers and pilgrims, abstain from fleshly lusts which war against the soul. And you better hope they warn against the soul, because otherwise your soul is on that side. Otherwise your soul is just on that team. How is you going to abstain from your fleshly lust? Well, if it's a desire for all these women, then what you need to do, like me, is not gaze upon the beauty of these women, not desire these women for pleasure. Don't be a lover of pleasure more than a lover of God. Don't meddle in the affairs of these women. You're just opening doors for you to constantly get persuaded. Like, dang, she might. I know she got a man, but shoot, we talk every day, and this and the third. She might go for it. Don't open up no kind of doors like that. Don't open up no kind of doors like that. Don't look at them. Don't stare at them. Don't worry about what they doing, who they talking to. Don't worry about what they just ate. None of that. Walk in singleness of heart and the fear of the Lord, and turn away from fornication and from lust, man. Like I said earlier, that lust can be anything. It don't have to be what I deal with and lusting after women. That lust can be anything. You got to examine yourself and find out what it is for you. But for me, I know what it is. And I know I need to keep my head down and I need to keep my mind out of the affairs of these women. I got to walk in singleness of heart and the fear of the Lord, putting my labors towards feeding the sheep and towards studying. Uh, we got to remember that, the law and the prophets hang on two great laws. Matthew 22, verse 37. Master, which is the great commandment in the law? Yahushua said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment. The second is like unto it, Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these commandments hang all the law and the prophets. So ask yourself, how does you having these cravings or having these desires for X, Y, and Z, whatever it may be, that you be that's warring against your soul, how is that loving the Lord with all your heart, soul, and mind? So for me, how is me, being addicted to pornography or lusting after, women and things like that? How is that loving the Lord thy God with all of my heart, with all my soul, with all my mind? It's not. It's not. And if you get to the second one, which is like it, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Do you even You're not even thinking about your neighbor when you thinking about when you lusting after some woman or something like that. But we have to be keeping these two laws, especially, in our forefront. We should be loving the Lord our God with all our heart, with all our soul, and with all our mind. That should allow no room for us to be being enticed and beguiled and persuaded by the enemy through whatever that vice is for us. But if you love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, soul, and mind, even when you see something something that might trigger you, even when you see that, it's not gonna have no effect on you. Even when you see that, it's not gonna have no effect on you. So I have to start keeping that in the forefront of my mind, like, okay, love God and love your neighbor as yourself with all your heart. That's what the law and the prophets hang on. It's like if you're thinking about that, when you see when you see an attractive woman, or when you see, that car, or something that you want, or something that you have, something that you want that you can't have, or whatever it is, man, whatever it is, these on these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Think about those things when lust creeps in. Think about those things when fornication is about to creep in, right? Think about those things when pride and anger and all this stuff. Think about when all that stuff kicks in, man. Think about those two great commandments. We give all the honor, all the glory, and all the praise to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I hope this lesson is edifying. I know it will be for me, but to anybody who sees it, I hope it's edifying, and you get some truth out of what I put up here today. So shalom, and like I said, all praise to the Most High.